Hey, what's up guys? This is Jeff with Gamestork, and lots of things have happened this weekend so far. Let's dive in, check it out, see what's going on in the Nintendo world here with some Gamestork daily news. Gamestork, delivering news, reviews, and playthroughs like a newborn baby. So, if you're a fan of the game The Escapist 2, well, good news. It looks like The Escapist 2 is going to be launching shortly after August the 22nd for the Nintendo Switch. Now, the game comes out on the 22nd for the PC, Xbox One, and PS4, but as with all the other games right now being ported over this early in the Switch's life cycle, it looks like this one's going to be delayed a little bit too, but you can expect it to come out this year. Pretty much, to simplify what this game is, it's, escaping from prison. And apparently the first one was, a pretty big success, so perhaps this one will be as well. I don't know, but it looks like a lot of fun. I can honestly say I have not played the first one, so maybe I should start there before jumping into this one. Even though it's not on the Nintendo Switch, maybe that one can make its way over as well. We'll see. Either way, this game, any game, as I always say, is a good addition for the Nintendo Switch, and I'm happy to see that at least the indie world is really selling out to put their games onto this console, which is really, really awesome. Up next, we have some news about Sonic Mania, which came from Comic-Con this week, where Sega introduced special stages. Now, Sega gave fans a first look at special stages in Sonic Mania during a panel that they had at Comic-Con. They're inspired by titles on the Saturn and CD. You'll collect rings for more time and blue spheres for more speed while chasing down a UFO for a Chaos Emerald. And this looks cool. It looks like it's going to be a really good addition to the game. I don't know about you guys, but this game, it looks really good to me, and I am not someone who's been lucky enough to be able to play. I'm hoping that somewhere in the future, I will be able to play this thing very soon. I would love to play it before it came out. I suppose my channel's not quite big enough yet to get some of these bigger games before they make their way out. Maybe one day I will be able to do that, drop early reviews instead of later ones, but we'll see. Come on, developers. Gamestork's got what you need. Anyway, I'm really excited about Sonic, and this is going to be a really awesome game. I really love the old games, and some of the reiterations have been really good, and some have been really bad. So it's hard to go in with high expectations, but from what I have heard, it looks like Sonic Mania is going to do an excellent job of being a really good game, that earns our money, and I'm very excited about that. Well, it looks like Miiverse is ending. Nintendo issued a Wii U firmware update last week. The system hasn't seen the addition of any new features in quite some time, so normally this wouldn't be big news. However, it ended up being a fairly significant after apparently they found text that mentions the end of the Miiverse, which if anything Nintendo did right, it was the Miiverse. A lot of people enjoyed going and sharing art, different things like that across there, being able to chat about their favorite game and categorized areas where you could go and just talk about that game or draw or do art or any cool stuff. So first thing, we know that the text is accurate, and assuming it's true, it may take some time for Nintendo to pull the plug on Miiverse. It could be 1 year, it could be 2 years. We don't know. It looks like there are people out there still playing the Wii U. However, probably not too many. And we know Miiverse is not making its way over to the Nintendo Switch. Even though there is a hint of Miiverse, at least its core, so far on Splatoon 2, being able to draw and do things like that and share that in the main area on the game. But you can't deny that Miiverse isn't as prominent as it once was. It's, not a part of the Switch at all, as I was saying, and the Wii U is still used by many players, but it's not in the spotlight now. And the 3DS does feature Miiverse as well, but it's not as significant as it was on the Wii U. So as you take just a minute and just sit back and look at what the Miiverse had to offer, we see that yes, it was pretty great, but hopefully Nintendo will do something very unique and awesome for this next reiteration of their online service and get rid of that voice app and just put it right on the system, right? Am I by myself thinking this? Anyway, alright, so next up, there's some really cool news. There's this very, very good game that a lot of people love, and it's making its way to the Nintendo Switch. What? Maybe? Is this? And this is the Sexy Brutale. This game, coming out in the middle of a lot of other games by Tequila Works, really got passed by, and it may have a chance to come to the Nintendo Switch. On July 14, Peggy rated the game for the console. Now, Peggy is not going to rate a game that's not coming out for a console, so I doubt that this is something that's a mistake. mistake. But that being said, classifications don't always confirm releases, but usually they're intended to be used in the same way. It would be rather strange for the Sexy Brutale to be rated on Switch if Tequila Works doesn't intend to bring that to the platform, but maybe it's just the studio, exploring that for the future. Either way, this game is really cool, and after quite a few companies reached out to Tequila Works for classification, they haven't heard back. There's no new information, and they haven't spoken out to say whether or not the Sexy Brutale is going to make its way over to the Nintendo Switch. So there ultimately is no verification to this story. So you'd say as of right now, it's pretty much just conjecture, but that's okay. We can look forward to seeing a lot of, cool stuff. And this game, if it does make its way over, is a really solid game. Very, very good. And it would make a great addition to your Nintendo Switch library. Now, speaking of new games and awesome things, Walmart began taking pre-orders for the Super NES Classic Edition, and just as they went live, they sold out before yours truly could get one. As it pushed through the entire internet interface, by the time I got to me, apparently, they were all gone. So I did not get one, and it appears that they are sold out for the time being, and there's not a stock update as of right now. However, it is being said that Target may eventually take pre-orders for the Super NES Classic Edition as well, so keep an eye out at Target as well as Walmart if you're really eyeing one of these like me. I'm dying to get my hands on one. I will play this thing up and down, all 20 of these games, constant. So I'm very excited about it, and hopefully this is going to be something that I can get my hands on, unlike the NES Classic, which, I had no chance of getting. Nintendo said this time around they're going to make plenty, and there should be enough, but, I'm not going to hold my breath there, and we'll see how it goes. As far as the N64, we saw the trademark that came out for the N64 controllers, which was an indication that perhaps they will see an N64 Classic come out next year. Now, this being said, yes, it is exciting. However, is this fair to us gamers who have bought the Nintendo Switch and really just want a virtual console? Now, this in itself isn't so much a news story as it is just me talking about this and asking the question, Nintendo, do you consider this fair to be releasing these systems and not give us our virtual console as we'd like? Now, what I would like to see with this is like the bundle that come with the NES or the SNES games, all those games, bundle all those together and release those ROMs onto the Nintendo Switch and allow us to pay just for the games. I would do that. I would pay a good amount of money just to be able to have that set of games on the Nintendo Switch instead of purchasing the SNES Classic. Even though the collector in me says, yes, I want that, I ultimately just want to play the games regardless of how they're presented, and I'd rather play them on the Nintendo Switch on the go. So as we look at the N64 Classic, perhaps coming next year, my hope is that the virtual console will be out and Nintendo will at least think about pushing these games out, especially for those like the NES and people like me who just can't seem to get their hands on one, putting out bundles of those games on the virtual console so that we can buy those, or individually, it doesn't matter. Just give us access to those so that we can play them, because we really want to play them. So our next news focuses around Pokemon Go, and the Pokemon Go Fest is suffering from long lines and connectivity issues as Niantic CEO gets booed on stage. That's right, they're offering all kind of stuff to make up for this. This thing has not gone how they wanted to. They're offering like $100 cards for the in-game coins, offering refunds for that. And if you remember when Pokemon Go launched last year, the game was a hit even with the massive connection issues. The same problems have returned 1 year later. At Pokemon Go Fest, attendees are having to deal with long lines, connectivity issues, are also plaguing players, meaning the game is unplayable for many fans. Adding to it all, some people spent quite a bit of money just to make it to Pokemon Go Fest. Some people flew all the way there, and this is, just kind of unforgivable on the part of those of Niantic, really, because those people who bought a plane ticket or something like that, who are being refunded the small ticket amount or whatever they spent, it's kind of ridiculous because they're not being refunded the plane tickets or anything like that. So if you set up a Pokemon Go Fest, Niantic, and you expect people to fly there and this to be a big hit, make sure that your app can handle, the people coming, and that they can effectively play and enjoy themselves. But it seems like Pokemon Go just isn't going to stop seeing this issue. This is one of the reasons I quit playing. I only got up to about level 23, and I quit playing some time ago. Now my wife does still play, but I got sick of it and just couldn't keep going. I enjoyed the game. I love catching Pokemon. It was just the fact that the app itself had a lot of issues, and they were very frustrating to me, and I just had to stop. So if you're like me and you have lots of available coins on your My Nintendo account, I got some good news for you. If you're a fan of Splatoon or Splatoon 2, Splatoon Rewards are now available on my Nintendo in North America. Now this sounds really cool, right? But let's not get too excited because I got pumped up when I saw this and I headed over, and I will say that I did redeem one of these. My Nintendo added these Splatoon theme rewards in Europe yesterday, and these same rewards are now in North America as well. So if you are in Europe, you can pick these up. The Splatoon rewards are comprised of 5 different offerings. You can pick up a 3DS theme, which is what I got, Swap Doodle DLC, guide, a couple of wallpapers, and the full lineup is as follows. So gold coins, you can spend 20 gold points to get a Splatoon Fresh Squid theme, Swap Doodle DLC for 30, Prima Official Starter Guide for 10 gold points. Then you got platinum wallpapers for 50 platinum, and another one for 50 platinum, which to me, you know, I'm expecting like in-game stuff, and I would love to see that. And I'm really ready for them to implement the Nintendo Switch rewards, which they have not done yet. And I really need them to do that because I would like to spend the insane amount of coins or points or whatever you want to say that I have on something that I would really like to have. And at least with the old Nintendo, I got physical things. I don't know if you guys ever claimed any of that, but they offered physical things like statues and things like that. That was really rewarding. So if they are going to offer digital items, I'm just hoping that they can really get with it and offer things on the Nintendo Switch, perhaps offer you free downloads for games, discounts on games for the Switch like they do to 3DS, or something like that. Something along those lines would be acceptable. I know it's coming in the future, but I'm ready just to see it right now. And I'm sure that you guys are too. As I boot up my 3DS and download this Splatoon theme, you know, it's one of those things that in the future, hopefully, we will see a lot more coming. Now, I don't know if you guys have begun playing Splatoon 2. It's a huge hit. If you are playing it right now, just to close out here, I want to tell you that there is a new weapon. They're adding the ink brush, and well, actually, they've already added the ink brush. So if you have not gone and picked that up, please do so. This is something that's new to the game, the DLC that they've added, and it's worth your time. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this news update this weekend. Please let me know how you feel about any of these topics. Let me know how you feel about Splatoon 2 if you're enjoying it, perhaps some funny story, anything you'd like to talk about below to do with any of these topics. I love to hear about. I would love to respond to. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. If you like Nintendo Switch, then me and you get along very well because I love the Nintendo Switch. I think it's an amazing system. I love Nintendo. I love talking Nintendo, and this is the place to come first to get all your Nintendo news, all your Nintendo needs, to get that fix each and every day. Anyway, thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time.